Welcome back, everybody. I tell you what, is it just me, or does the simple act of voting seem a little more complicated this year? I mean, options are great, but absentee voting, early voting, mail-in ballots, notarized ballots. Here to try to make this a little simpler and actually take some of the work out of it, really, is Ed Herman from the law firm Brown Crouppen. Ed, it's good to connect with you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. So this year, it's very different, both in Missouri and Illinois. But for this morning's purposes, let's focus on Missouri. All registered Missouri voters can cast their ballot by mail. Most of those ballots are going to need to be notarized. So I know you've got this promote the vote event, rather, that Brown and Crouppen is going to be a part of, that will help with that process. Connect the dots for me there.
Absolutely. Well, the first thing people need to know is if you want to request a mail-in ballot, you need to make that request prior to October 21st at 5 p.m. So step one is order up your ballot. When you get that, you're going to want to fill it out, but you can't just mail it back in. You have to get it notarized. Now, most people, when you think of a notary, you think, oh, I'll just go to my bank. But, banks only do that during regular working hours, and that may not work for a lot of people. So what we've done is, Brown and Crouppen, we have a lot of notaries because a lot of the paperwork that our clients sign has to be notarized. So our notaries, the Brown and Crouppen notaries, have volunteered to set up a special event for free. And anybody that wants to bring in their mail-in ballots to get them notarized, we will do that for them. It's a drive-through event, so it's done very safely. You don't even share a pen with anybody. And we're going to put the details up on the screen so people know exactly when it is and where it is. But all you have to do is bring your completed write-in ballot, and we will notarize it for you, and then it can be properly mailed in. And what I really want to encourage everybody to do is try to get these mail-in ballots returned and mailed back as quickly as possible. You really want them to have it in their hand before Election Day, so that on Election Day, they can spend the day counting these up and hopefully give an accurate count by the end of the day, which is what we've all kind of grown to expect. So the earlier, the better.
So two important dates here. The date that Ed just mentioned, where you've got to at least request the ballot by, and then as Ed recommended, and I can't emphasize this enough, try to get it to the election authorities ahead of election night if you possibly can. Ed mentioned that information about the notarization drive. This is important information. I want to make sure everybody knows about this. It's coming up on Saturday, October 17th. It runs from noon to 4. It's at Friendly Temple Missionary Baptist Church, and the address is there on your screen. It's 5553 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive in St. Louis, Missouri. It's a drive-through event. Ed said they're going to try to keep it as contactless as possible. But Ed, it's also worth noting, everybody's got to bring a photo ID along with their ballot, right? That's key. You got to have a photo ID on your ballot.
You do. Now, bear in mind, if you're going to your polling place to vote in person on Election Day, right, you technically don't need a photo ID for that, but you do need one of the accepted forms of ID. But for the purpose of getting something notarized, you do need to have a photo ID. So bring your driver's license, a passport, whatever you have that's a photo ID. It could be a state identification card, and that'll be enough to get it notarized. So little difference there, but yes, you do need that. We can all do a little something to help each other out to make sure that we all vote. So figure out what that thing is and then do it. If that means driving somebody to a poll or helping them request a ballot, if we all just do our little bit, we can get the best voter turnout we've ever had.
There you go. A little bit can go a long way. Thank you so much, Ed. If you'd like to get in touch with Brown and Crouppen, you can reach out to them anytime. Just dial all twos, or you can visit their website, getbc.com.